the Bell thing radios push to talk over cellular.
Today we're talking about emergency radios. All right. Well, it's actually not a radio. We'll get to that. This is the Rapid Radios. You may have seen the ad on Instagram. Seems to be where they're doing most of their marketing, and I know why. So let's get to it. First of all, this is not a radio. You can't program this to talk to literally any radio around you at all, okay? It's a SIM card, which is what's in your phone, and it is put into a box that resembles a radio. What does that do? Okay, well, let's talk about their marketing. So the marketing says emergency radio for all over the country, all over the globe. And we have tested that, and I'll tell you what, it will talk across the country. Okay, so very cool. We were talking across the country. We had no issues. Once we were actually connected, it was a piece of cake. So shout out to Stokermatic for sending out his to me, because that is another downside to these. You can't grab one of these and program it to another one that is sitting right next to you. So if you want to set up some kind of group, maybe with some buddies or your family out in the mountains or your neighbors, you need to buy a whole bunch of these at once, and they will all be programmed onto that same group. Pretty cool. Not terrible if that's what you're going to use them for. And with that comes some of the ease. You don't have to do anything with these radios. I try to program mine and screw with these buttons. It does nothing. I can scroll through menus and push buttons, but it doesn't matter. I could just turn it on and talk to people no matter what I've done. Strange. Another benefit is they are encrypted. So as you can see with the conversation with Stoker and Jared, we talk about the encryption a little bit. So somebody might be able to use an RF finder or something and see that you might be sending out some kind of transmission. I'm not great on that stuff, so I can't tell you if cell phones will send out signals like that. But people will not be able to tap into your transmission. Okay, so now you have a fully encrypted system to talk to other people with, even across the country. It does work. But here's the main problem. Mine is not connected, okay? And so there's this barcode on there, and it says register with code. I scanned my barcode, and it took me to like some workout supplement website. So anyway, I wrote the guy. I was like, hey, scanning this code doesn't work. What do I have to do? And he's like, oh, well, it's got to be connected to log in. Okay, so I drive out to the hilltop where I checked in with Stoker and them. Finally was able to hit a cellular tower, and then my name and everything pops up on there, and I'm registered. Okay, cool. So you buy these, they set them up for you. You don't have to do anything. They talk. Now, that is the major downfall to the system. It is basically a cell phone with a push-to-talk function, okay? So if I need signal to talk with that, well, I can also do that with my phone, because the same prepaid program I use for my phone is going to work the same way as these radios work. A cool thing is that these will talk across all the cellular networks. You don't even have to know which network it's connected to. If there is a cellular tower in the area, this will connect to it. And my phone does the same thing. The prepaid SIM on my phone, it'll connect to any tower. The company doesn't matter. Also, if we're talking about encryption, well, we've got the Signal app, end-to-end encryption. So, Randall, why do I need a separate device to do basically the same thing that my cell phone with Signal can do? And on Signal, you can send texts and pictures and stuff. Can't do that on here. This is voice. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. Because it is not a radio, this is not functional with any other piece of equipment I have. And because of where I am and where Stoker was, Stoker had to leave his place, we can't talk. Okay, so the end-to-end encryption is cool. The $50 per radio per year, that is not bad at all. That's dirt cheap. You know, cost 200 something bucks to actually get 2 radios, and they program them for you. The price is not horrible, but if we're talking about preparedness and shit hits the fan, and how these radios are marketed, okay, emergency radio system, will the cell towers be up and functional in an emergency? Well, if you look at why ham clubs exist in the first place, why we have amateur radio, it's because the grid goes down. Now, I know we have made massive improvements in that. Where I am, you know, when we have the worst storms, wildfires, and all this stuff going on, I can still drive out to a major hilltop and connect to the towers, even if everybody else is out of power. Now, it could be generators, solar, their own connection to the grid, but either way, those cell towers have stayed up, okay? But I am a radio guy, all right? My phone is, when I'm out on the ATV or out walking around through the mountains, my phone is put away. It's usually turned off to save the battery, and I'm a radio guy. So let's talk about the price, okay? They are heavily marketed as no subscription, no monthly fees, and all this stuff. Okay, if you've ever used a cell phone, you know there's some kind of subscription. So it's just some marketing terms they throw out. All right, so you're going to pay about $250 for 2 radios. They program them for you. They are rugged and tough, okay? So they're waterproof. They have water-resistant covers. You know, most of the marketing terms fit. When you get it in the mail, if you have connection, you just turn it on, and it's set up and ready to go. You don't have to do anything to it. So if you have no clue what to do with radios, but you do have cell coverage around you, that's not a bad option to go. But then with the price, so $250 for 2 radios, they set them up for you, and then it's $50 per radio per year. That sounds like a freaking subscription to me. I've paid for the radios, you program them for me, thank you. Now I got to pay $100 if I got 2 radios per year. That is not bad, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Some people pay $150 a month for a regular cell phone bill, okay? So if you're just going to use something like this, for 2 radios, $100 a year is no big deal at all. But that is a subscription. It's something that is going to continually come out of my bank account. It is a subscription, okay? So I don't like the freaking advertisement there. But I understand their target audience. I know exactly who their audience is. You know, it's going to be people who never touched a radio, don't have the time, don't care about learning radio. Maybe they're too old and they're just like, I don't understand technology. So for the older folks who are looking at these Instagram and Facebook ads, yeah, that's right, I said older people. My generation and below, we're not buying shit off of Instagram. Sorry, we don't do that. A radio like this, you look at it, oh, no subscription. Okay, well, you pay $250 for radio, and then it's $50 per radio per year. Do they automatically draft it from your account? Do they send you an email, hey, you got to update your, what do they call it? If they don't want to call it a subscription, hey, for your radios to continue to work, you need to pay us another $50 per radio. Well, maybe a year has gone by and the person forgot and they're like, yeah, whatever, and they just cancel it. I don't know. Or if I'm that older person that just wanted to be able to push buttons and talk to people, I'm going to be asking like, dude, I thought you said no subscription. This sounds like a subscription to me. All right, but either way, I saw the marketing, you know, and I can understand marketing terms and stuff, and I was like, there is absolutely zero possibility you pay for these and never pay anything again. And guys, if you're paying for something consistently, what do we call it? A freaking subscription, right? But I can get past that because it is a very easy to use system. It is encrypted. It does work across the country. You can pay $100 per radio per year and you get international roaming. Okay, so it does work as long as you have cellular coverage. So it is not horrible. So here's the final question. Randall, would you recommend this? Well, it's really hard to say, because I would say for your elderly folk who just want to be in touch with people, be able to talk to somebody, I don't see the benefit in this versus my phone, okay? Because we are Americans, we're Westerners. We will always have these forever. Until the grid completely goes down and never comes back, we will always have these, okay? So what I usually do is I have my phone in case I need to take pictures, or maybe I do get service out in the mountains and I want to talk to somebody. And then I carry a real radio, not this one, but I carry a real radio so I can talk to other people when I can't do it on the phone. That's 2 devices. So now essentially with this, we're taking 2 devices that almost do the same thing, okay? But this one can't do anything else. I can take pictures, I can send video, I can send voice files, I can send text messages, and Signal. Guys, Signal's free. You can download it. So the older people who would actually buy into these, if you're watching this, probably not. You're not watching my garbage. But if you are in that age group that I think they're marketing to, Signal app. Look up Signal app. It's free to download. It is end-to-end encrypted. So you do get the encryption. And instead of just pushing a button, you just got to open your app and talk to people. And let's take it one step even further. So I'm in the mountains and I don't have connection, right? I don't have cellular service. So yeah, my radio's not connected. Test. Anybody out there? It's not even transmitting. But I don't have cellular connection, but where I am, I do have Starlink. Okay, you can't program this to Wi-Fi. It's not open to that. There's no connectivity with any other device. How many people do you know are going to always carry this anyway, and then are going to add this to their thing? Okay, so I'm cool with carrying my phone and then get my Baofeng out, throw that in my pocket so I can talk to anybody in the area. Sure, no problem. But with two devices that do almost the same thing, but this one is limited because now I'm at my house and I can't talk on Starlink with it and I don't have cellular coverage. So once again, guys, I can understand the concept here, okay? It's not a bad deal, right? 250 bucks for 2 radios. What's it going to cost for 4 radios? We got to look that up. What if you've got a group spread out all over the country and you want like 12 radios to send out? Then you got $50 per year. What do we call that? Sounds like a subscription to me. But if you're willing to shell that out and you do want the simplicity of just picking something up and having encrypted comms, you don't want to deal with apps and all that, you don't care about Wi-Fi and stuff, sure, it's fine. For somebody like me and a lot of grunts, I would say don't bother. And again, the marketing kind of rubbed me the wrong way, you know, subscription free. It was very gimmicky, all right, a little too gimmicky. So I appreciate Rapid Radio's radio. It's not a radio. I appreciate them sending these out. Let me try them. So we'll make sure next year I don't get debited 50 bucks for a subscription. If you want the product for what it is, then yeah, it's a great deal. And it works perfectly fine. You will talk all across the country. If you're traveling and you want to open up that international 100 bucks per year per radio, that's a subscription, then great, it's going to work fine for you. They really work. They're reliable. They are rugged and tough. They are water resistant, like claimed. So there you go. Do with that what you want. For me and my grunts, I'm going to say no go. Thanks for watching.